Showdawee TV, what's going on? It's your boy Rody. I'm back with another album review, and this time it's Young Jeezy's 8th studio album, Church in These Streets.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's the 10 crack commandments. Wow.
Alright, Showdawees, so I'm sure you guys know of Young Jeezy by now. Everybody knows Mr. Snowman, Mr. 17-5. He started out with the group by Diddy, Boys in the Hood, and branched off into be his own single artist who's blown up to be one of the well-known artists in the game. Now this 8th album that he's come out with kind of blew me by surprise, because I really didn't know he was dropping anything until I started noticing that he just kept coming out with new singles every about 2 or 3 weeks. So this album kind of dropped, so I had to pay attention to it and see what's going on. Alright, so this album had 19 songs, and out of those 19, it only had 2 featured artists. Y'all know how I feel about albums that got too many artists on it, changing up the flow of the album. But it had Monica and Janelle Monáe, 2 singers who only added good taste to the song. They didn't change it up and make it sound like it was a Caminero song. It was taken into a way that allowed the song to still sound good and keep Jeezy's point across, which of course is being the drug dealer, triumphant songs, and just kind of showing y'all that the struggle is always real and you can always make it out. Now, this album started off a little bad in my opinion. I had to give it a bunch of listens to actually start understanding that it was a decent album. The first song, Grind State and Lost Souls, really didn't resonate with me too well. I mean, Grind State was just a classic Jeezy, heavy bass, Atlanta sound, you know, good workout song. But the second song was more geared to Lost Souls, which was tailored toward these strippers, and you know, they're doing stuff that, you know, people don't really appreciate, but they're still making their money. So I was kind of pulled back by those first 2 songs. I was like, man, this don't sound like an album that I'm gonna too much enjoy. But it started coming around pretty good. The next 4 to 5 songs were straight bangers. I mean, I put my Beats by Dre headphones on and I just started vibing out and really started to understand what the concept of the album is about. It's really showing Jeezy's growth from where he came from and the motivational tracks to where he is now. Still being connected to the streets, but still allowing y'all to know that, hey, he's changed, but still trying to bring people with him. A lot of these songs gave you compare and contrast of people that are still involved in drug dealing and making money in the streets, but still trying to get out of it, but at the same time still trying to show the streets that, hey, I ain't leave you, I'm still a part of y'all struggle. Jeezy is really being a narrator to what he's seen and what he still goes through. A lot of these songs showed me that he still holds strong ties to his community, but still trying to push away to let them know, like, hey, I got more to offer than just being that drug dealer y'all knew. Now, some of my favorite songs on this album, which I actually had a lot, was Sweet Life, Gold Bottles, Scared of the Dark. I really liked Scared of the Dark personally because it showed that artists really want to get out in the light and say, yo, I'm here and I'm ready forever, but they're really not expecting what can come from the dark side of it. Being able to be pressured from your friends, going back to where you came from, and actually being able to hold that longevity. I mean, again, this is Jeezy's 8th album. He's been out for quite some time now, so he does know the light and the dark side of this. And I ain't talking about Star Wars. But this is showing that a lot of artists are not prepared for this type of lifestyle. And that song does go deep involved into it, which I did respect. And it was actually a really, really good beat. And it opened the way to a lot of the songs that were now more therapeutic and mental and emotional, aside from the heavy, you know, strip club songs and the drug dealer songs. Now, there were a lot of good inspirational songs, but again, it was a lot of that drug dealer, heavy bass, kind of workout music. But the one thing I noticed is that a lot of the producers on this album were new guys, people that we've never heard. I mean, he did have 2 producers, London on the track, who's been heavy with, you know, Rich Homie Quan and, you know, Young Thug, and then Zayto, who's always been known for being with Gucci Mane and now with Jeezy. But a lot of these new and upcoming producers made beats that sounded like classic Jeezy songs, which in my opinion is not necessarily the best thing for an artist. If you have brand new artists, or excuse me, producers that come out and can make beats that you sound like you've been rapping on for the past 7 hours prior to this, it's not good for artists to be kind of stuck in one zone of, yo, this is the only beat I can rap on, that triumphant hard music, which does come across good, but I do want to see you come out with a little bit of different beat and a different mentality aside from that same old, you know, playthrough of, I'm gonna just do this, I'm gonna rap about this, the beat's gonna be like this, and people gonna love it. Yes, people do love Jeezy for what he's come to the game with, and what he will be in the future. But I would like to see him come out with a different element to his rapping abilities and beats, aside from that same old drug dealer beat. The one thing I can say about Jeezy's album is that he is paying attention to what's going on in today's society. There are 3 interlude tracks on this album which focus more on the African American community, as well as men being stereotyped and just growing up in this system of not having anywhere to go, being pigtailed as, you're not going to perform and you're just going to be stuck in the hood. He was really speaking motivation, which again goes back to Jeezy's first album, Thug Motivation. This wasn't really for the thugs, it was really for the people as a whole. It's trying to get people to understand that, this is hard times, we gotta try to do better. And the people that were actually speaking on these were, spoken words individuals that have been unknown to me. Like, I've never heard of these women that were on these interludes, but they did give you about a minute and a half worth of actual therapeutic information that I feel like was very helpful to the album, that split it up a little bit between the drug rap and then it went to the more therapeutic side of just listening and thinking about what you've gone through to try to find out how you can continue to be a better person. So I think in summary, this album did do a good job in Jeezy's favor. He didn't have a lot of hoopla and hype before this album, aside for the past few weeks of promoting it. He only had 2 artists featured on it, so he really focused on his own input on each individual song. And it actually had a format, a lot of splits up between the interludes to give you an idea of where the album was heading and to see where Jeezy's at today. So I do have to give this Showdawee stamp of approval, y'all. I definitely agree that this album will be something that most people will enjoy. It's got that hard-hitting workout music that Jeezy's well known for, as well as that kind of a Tupac side with more conscious rap to see what's going on in your hood and what we can do to be better. So I definitely do recommend this album for all my Jeezy fans, as well as all my hip-hop heads out there. I think you'll approve of this as well. All right, Showdawees, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap this video up. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Down in the comment section, make sure y'all let me know what y'all thought of this album or what y'all think of Jeezy as a rapper. And let me know what y'all thought of this review. I need the good and bad criticism to make sure I keep this channel growing in the right direction. And make sure y'all check out fppapparel.com to get hoodies like this and any other great items, faith, pride, passion. And your boy Roddy will check y'all out next time. That's Showdawee TV out.